the people in this audience on TV now because she's on TV at the moment with Mark Spears and Malika. So everyone is talking about Deandre Ayton because he's now become available. Here are my thoughts on Deandre Ayton. First of all, I think it's a bad fit with Luka. Deandre Ayton does not want to be, and DeAndre, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Deandre Ayton is not a prototypical set the screen, roll to the basket, finish at the rim guy. He wants to post up. That is not a Luka special. As a matter of fact, Luka already played with a guy who's better than Ayton, but like wanted to do stuff like that in Porzingis, and it was a nightmare, okay? So what Luka wants is a Derek Lively or a Brook Lopez type, right? Like a guy who can space and a guy who can roll to the rim. That is not what Ayton wants to do on a regular basis. Not that he doesn't play pick and roll, but it's not like he wants to do the entire game. And if you're DeAndre Ayton, you're still in your 20s.
26.
Like, you want to go somewhere to rebuild your value. You just took a buyout. Like, you don't want to go somewhere where your role is going to be limited at 26 years old. Fair or unfair about all that?
Fair. I just think that I pictured DeAndre Ayton as far as like a pick and roll, what Chris Paul was able to do with them with the Phoenix Suns. Yes, like Chris Paul was able to utilize him, cut off the pick and roll, dish it down to him as far as in the mid post area. But DeAndre Ayton, the only thing that we would see a lot of from him is his motor. He has no motor. There's a times he gets really lazy on the defensive end of the floor. He's not a dominant rebounder as well. Doesn't really
He's actually a weak rebounder for his size.
Exactly. So there's things that like DeAndre Ayton would do if he was to come on this Lakers team that would be like, okay, what are we doing here?
The reason I don't like Ayton is because when you're 26 years old and you have a team that is giving up on you in Portland, they're basically saying, hey, we're going to buy you out. We don't want you here.
They kept drafting centers.
Yes, but they weren't doing it right. We don't want you here, and we were a bad team. We gave you the contract. You didn't fulfill it, right? We look at you. There were some nights when the Lakers would play Portland. You know, I'm always down there early. DeAndre, I would tell you these things, right? Some days he was working out, warming up, and other days he was on the court warming up, which just means he was going through the motions at times. And with DeAndre Ayton, when you're that old at the age of 26 and you're that talented, but you've never lived up to it, for the Lakers, they don't need a guy who, hey, maybe he's a reclamation program that we can fix, right? Maybe he's a guy that we can get him in the right mindset, the right organization, our coaches can help him. If the guy doesn't want to put in that work, then you can't put in that work. And if, from what LeBron is saying, right, this is my last year. I need somebody who's going to come out here and do things. We need somebody who's going to be aggressive, somebody who's going to go and grab boards. You look at him, you're like, yeah, I like him. And then if you watch him every night, man, I do not like him. He's a frustrating player, but yet
he is very frustrating.
He's young and so much upside, but will he ever live up to that?
Lindsay.
So I have a question for you.
Ball knowers.
So I saw that Lakers writer Anthony Irwin tweeted, the LaRavia signing likely means the Lakers have to choose between Lopez and Ayton unless they want to use the BAE on one of them. And then Rich Staples from BSN wrote, the Lakers literally have to choose between a ribeye steak and a tofu sandwich. Who is the tofu sandwich here?
I would imagine the tofu is Ayton, if I had to guess.
Wow, okay. Yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Tofu could be good sometimes.
I would rather have a ribeye, wouldn't you?
We season it right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who watches ball knows that, like, DeAndre Ayton has been a complete disappointment.
But
number one pick and nothing.
I've heard a lot of people say, like, Brook Lopez at this point, he's just a name.
I mean, Brook Lopez is a nice name. I think Brook Lopez, if he's playing 15, 20 minutes, you're fine. Like, he
can't be your starting center.
He can't be the guy that plays 28 minutes a night.
He's a good addition to a team that doesn't need a big input.
So he's the ribeye.
Yeah, well, I hope DeAndre Ayton is not the ribeye in that situation because I would be very disappointed in whoever you just mentioned. I don't know who you were.
Again, I have no idea. That's why I asked.
Yeah. All right, let me go to the phones. Who is